up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hello and welcome to today's video where we are going to be kicking off my 2025 project pan, and I am so excited about this, y'all, because I have never done a project pan before. I have been a huge fan of project panning content for years. I absolutely love it. In fact, I will link some of my favorite project panners for y'all down below in that description box, but I just find it so satisfying to watch people's progression of their product usage, see them hit their goals, and actually move things out of their collection. And it's something that's actually been in the back of my mind that I have been wanting to do for quite a while, but I've just never had the time to get around to it because I love testing new products and reviewing them for y'all. But now that my day-to-day life looks just a little bit different and I don't have as much time to test out new makeup, I thought it was the perfect time to try my hand at project panning. So to kick things off, I went ahead and decided to do something just a little bit simple. I didn't want to overwhelm myself and take on more than I could handle, so we're just doing a rolling project pan. I went through my collection and pulled out 10 products. I set a different goal for each one, and as I hit that goal, I will move that product out and move in something else. Simple as that, no big deal. I am going to track my usage. I have everything marked. I will take my pictures. We will do the monthly updates. We are going to do all of the things that project panners do, and as the year progresses and we see how things go, maybe next year I can try something a little bit more advanced. Maybe I can take on more projects, but for now, as I settle into my new routine, my new day-to-day life, we are just going to do something very simple. So I will have as many of these products listed and linked down below in the description box for y'all, as well as what I am wearing on my face today. So per usual, if you're ever curious about anything I use in any of my videos here on my channel, always check the description box because I squeeze as much information as I possibly can into that tiny little space. There's a hair in my face, but without further ado, let's get this party started. Alright, so the first product that we have is going to be my Lancome Judydoll Ultra Wear Care and Glow Foundation. And this is actually the product that prompted this entire project because I pulled it from my March everyday makeup drawer and I noticed whenever I reached for it, it actually expired in April of 2024. Now I don't feel like it has a funky smell to it. It hasn't oxidized. The consistency hasn't changed or anything like that. I would never put a product on my face that I feel like has truly gone off, but it does have an SPF in it, so I'm pretty sure that's what the expiration date is referring to. But either way, it is a year past that expiration point, and my goal is to completely use this up and move it out of my collection. So it's kind of hard to tell exactly where it's settled. I've had it sitting on my desk for a couple of weeks, and you can see there is some windowing, but when I hold it up to the light, that is about where we are at, and I feel like that is going to be very easy for me to get through. This does kind of taper down towards the bottom, so if I remember correctly, because I have finished one of these before, once you hit that halfway point, it's kind of smooth sailing from there. So I feel like I can finish this probably within the next month or two. Obviously, we'll see. I've never done this before, so there's going to be a lot of trial and error in this and really figuring out how overzealous I am being with my goals. But that is going to be the first product in my project. So the next product I have is going to be my LYS setting spray, and I love this setting spray, but the sprayer on here sucks. If you leave it sitting for more than a couple of days, it clogs up and then you have to run it under hot water. You have to put a little needle in there and fix it so it'll spray it again. So I just want to use this all the way up and just move it out of my collection. So this is going to be the only setting spray that I will have pulled until I get through it. And I'm almost halfway through. I'm not quite there yet, but I feel like if this is the only one I have sitting out, I can probably get through this pretty quickly because I use setting spray every single day. There is not one day that I don't douse my face in setting spray. So I feel like that's going to be a pretty easy goal to hit as well. My next one I don't think is going to be quite as easy, but it is a very old product in my collection. It is my Fenty Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy. I have had this for years and I love this gloss, but I don't reach for gloss as much as I used to, but it's definitely a little bit older in my collection, and it's one of those I feel like I need to declutter at the end of the year. So my goal is to finish it ultimately, but truly I just want to use as much of this as I possibly can by the end of the year. So I feel like this is probably going to take me all year to use because as you can see, I'm not very far into this product. So I'm just going to have this sitting out. Maybe I can throw it in my purse and just get as much use out of it as I possibly can because it is a beautiful formula. Mine still smells fine. It still has that nice vanilla scent to it. I like how how it's not super thick and goopy on the lips. It's hydrating. It leaves a beautiful like sheen to the lips. It has beautiful pigmentation to it, and it's one that I would absolutely repurchase if I was truly into glosses, which just right now I'm not. But this is one that I might be in over my head, but we're gonna get as much use out of it as I possibly can before the end of the year, because it is 100% going to get decluttered at the end of 2025. So up next we have my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Trio palette, and this is one that y'all have heard me talk about several times on my channel, but my ultimate goal with this one is to completely finish it, and honestly, I'm about 2/3 of the way there. This shade in the middle, which is like my main focus point whenever I go in with a big fluffy brush, is just about gone. There's a little bit at the bottom and a little bit at the top. This shade over here completely shattered when I dropped this palette. Somehow this one over here survived, which it's fine. The shade is too dark for me anyways, but this one over here, I feel like now that it's pretty much the only shade left, I can get quite a bit of usage out of it and possibly finish it by the end of the year. If not, I'll just roll it into next year, but my ultimate goal with this one is to completely finish it up. My Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder. Now this is one that barely survived my end of the year declutter. I almost got rid of it, but when I realized how little was actually left, I decided to keep it around and finish it off. And so that is going to be my ultimate goal with this one. I want to completely use it up and move it out of my collection, and I absolutely think I can do so, especially now that we're moving into the more warmer months here in Texas. It's gonna get a little bit more humid, and my makeup is really going to need something a little bit more mattifying underneath it, and I really do love this one for that. It's not overly mattifying to where I feel like it dries out my skin. It just kind of keeps all that sweat at bay. I know that's disgusting, but it's just a fact of life when you live in a hot, humid climate. I don't get super oily, but this one definitely helps kind of hold everything in place. So I think I can easily get through this one now that we're moving into the warmer months. And the last product that I have that I want to completely finish up by the end of the year is going to be this blush from Rare Beauty. This is the Melting Blush in the shade Nearly Natural. I do have a little bit of a pan going in here. I think this is a beautiful cream blush. It's very soft as far as pigmentation goes, but buildable at the same time. So I think I can absolutely finish this up by the end of the year. And if I don't, I'll just move it out of my collection and declutter it, because it is a little bit older at this point. It is a cream product. They do expire. It is not recommended to keep them around forever, and this one has definitely been around longer than the 12-month shelf life that it has. So we're just gonna see if I can completely use this up by the end of the year. I don't know how deep it goes. I don't know how easy it's going to be to get through this now that I have that little pan in there, so we'll see how that one goes. But my ultimate goal is to completely finish it up and move it out of my collection. So these next 4 products, my goal with them is just to simply hit pan. I am not looking to completely finish them. I don't have a usage goal or anything like that. I just want to hit pan and then move on to the next product. So my first one is going to be my Haus Labs bronzer. This is the original formulation. She very recently reformulated these. I believe they are talc free now, and they're also a little bit smaller, but I have loved this one for such a long time. It is a beautiful bronzer shade on me, especially in the summer when I like something a little bit more warm on my skin. And I have quite a significant dip in here, so I feel like it would be fairly easy to hit pan on this. I could be completely wrong, but I did pull this one because I felt like it would be easier to hit pan. I wanted a good mixture of products I felt like were going to be fairly simple for me to hit my goals, mixed with products that were going to be a little bit more challenging. But I feel like with good use, I can probably hit pan pretty quickly in this one, but we will find out. And next we have my Dior Powder No Powder. Now, unfortunately, this has been discontinued. You can no longer get your hands on it. And for that reason, I've been resisting dipping into it. I know that sounds silly. So I decided to go ahead and pull it for this project, get some use out of it, and hit pan on this one. Again, I have a pretty good little dip in the middle, not quite as much as I do in the Haus Labs bronzer, but I feel like if I use this every single day to set my face, I can very easily hit pan with this one. So hopefully I can achieve that pretty quickly and move this one out of the project. Now the next 2 I feel like I'm a little in over my head with, because they can be pretty difficult to hit pan in, at least from what I have heard from other people. So we'll see what happens. But the first one is going to be my ColourPop Super Shock Highlighter. Mine is in the shade Flexitarian. I have had this one for several years at this point. It's still nice and creamy. It still performs beautifully. It doesn't have a funky smell to it, but I definitely want to get more use out of it, and I would love to see a pan in this one. I I think I've only ever panned one ColourPop Super Shock highlighter, and it was way back when I had a really small collection and it was like the only highlighter that I had. So we'll see how long it takes to actually hit pan in this one. I don't have a huge dip in there. I have a little something going on in the middle, but you can't see the waffling or anything like that. But I feel like this is going to be a really nice wearable everyday highlighter for me. I can either, you know, tap it on the center of my eye, use it in the inner corner, use as a highlighter, find different ways to utilize this and hit pan on it. And the last product in this project is going to be my Buxom Wanderlust blush in the shade Seychelles. And I have a feeling that this is going to be the hardest product for me to hit my goal on. And that's simply because I don't have a whole lot of usage on this blush. In fact, it barely survived my declutter last year, but I ultimately decided to keep it because it is a beautiful formula and I do really love the shade. But with all the blushes coming out, it's sort of gotten lost in the shuffle and kind of buried in the back of my collection. So I'm hoping that now that I have it out front and center and sort of a focus product, I can get a lot more usage out of this blush. But like I said, I do have a feeling it's going to be in this project for the long haul, but we will see what happens. I could hit pan on this faster than I think, but I have a feeling that if I hit pan at all, it will definitely be more so towards the end of the year, but we will see what happens. All right, so those are the 10 products that I have included in my project pan, and I am really excited about this. I cannot wait to see the progression of the usage of these products, see how many of them I can hit my goal on, see what I can move out of my collection, and just get some more use out of the things that I already have. But let me know all of your thoughts down below. Let me know if you are a project panner, what products you are working on. If you have any advice for me, leave it down below in that comment section. But let's have that conversation, light up that comment section. And as always, I want to thank you all so much for watching my video and spending your time with me. It truly does mean so much to me. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up before you leave. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click on that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. And until my next video, have a good one. Bye.